Testing, testing, testing. I wanna test my mic for you, babe. Tell me if it sound good to you. Yeah. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Luvseat Shouted, coming at y'all with another video today, man. This is Devlog 6, man. We're moving right along. This game is almost, well, not even almost. This game is actually playable. I've had my friends play it, and it's coming out fire so far, man. I just got a couple of legal issues that I got to work out first, man, with some copyrights, because I will not, I repeat, not release this game in any way, shape, or form until I'm protected, bro, because people out here be jacking, and boy, I've been working so hard on this, bro. I might kill somebody over this shit. I ain't gonna lie. You gonna have to see me, bro. You gonna have to see me. So anyway, man, if you're new to the channel, man, I invite you to subscribe, man. There's a lot of good content here, man. And if you already subscribed, man, you need to hit the like button. If you don't, your mama's a hoe. Yes, nigga, I said it. And yeah, man, we're gonna get right into this video, man. We ain't wasting no time, dog. It's crunch time right now. Alright, so ever since the last time y'all seen me, I've been building on this boxing gym environment that I've been working on. I went to the Unity asset store and spent a little bit of change on some props. You know, some weight benches, heavy bags, speed bags. I even added boxing gloves and headgear to every one of my players so far. These accessories will toggle on and off depending on what game mode you're playing. And obviously the sound effects are going to vary based on whether you're wearing gloves or not. I haven't quite decided on it yet, but I may end up adding a simulation mode to this game so that you guys can actually do 10-round boxing matches. That's for the people who still like to have a little bit of a simulator feel to the game, but the meat of this game will be street boxing. Remember that issue I was telling y'all about in Devlog 5 where the head punches were inaccurate whenever his head would get outside of the collider? I finally figured out a way to use the player's ragdoll colliders to detect collisions from the other player's fists. First and foremost, the player has to have a collider on its main layer. I found a very interesting way to instruct this collider to detect all collisions of the environment, but to ignore the collisions of its own ragdoll parts and for the ragdoll parts of the other player. This led me to creating a totally different script specifically for the head collider and the torso collider. This particular script is now responsible for detecting all collisions from punches and communicating that information to the player script. So this drastically improved my punch accuracy. Hey, y'all gonna love me for this one. So your boy finally figured out how to put some haymakers in the game. Oh yeah, I know that's what y'all been waiting on. The coding logic is completely done now. And as far as the animations go, I was able to duplicate my regular punch animations and tweak them a little bit to make them look a little bit more drastic. The control scheme of this game is basically going to be like Fight Night Champion. One of the biggest differences though is that there's not going to be a haymaker button or a power modifier. Instead, regular punches are going to be simple taps and you'll have to hold the button down to throw a haymaker. But beware, they're going to spend a lot of stamina. I still got a couple of tweaks that I want to make to these animations, especially the left hook, but we're pretty much done with that part. And I think the haymakers look pretty nice. I also fixed a small problem to make the punches look a little bit more realistic. Before I fixed it, you had the ability to slide around and navigate during punches. Now you no longer have that ability. Once you attack, you're locked in position until that attack is over. I still gotta tweak that a little bit because the timing is off on certain punch animations, but it look real good right now. I also added some of that same logic to my walk animations because I noticed my player was kind of gliding across the floor instead of walking realistically. So now there's a delay in his steps. And guess what else? Now we can talk defense. The first incorporation of my blocking system utilized the same IK hand rigging system that I used for the punch aim, but it caused a lot of problems like the hands clipping through the player's head. And obviously it wasn't the crispiest looking thing in the world because the player's head was guarded pretty well, but his body was totally left open. So I finally figured out how to manipulate poses inside of animations, which is how I was able to create those haymakers. I used that same logic to create blocking poses. I was able to create an orthodox blocking pose, and my favorite, I was able to create that Philly shell, man. You know Floyd Mayweather, my boy, man. That Philly shell is just genius, bro. It's unstoppable if you know how to use it right. The only problem that I have with the Philly shell at this point is that the lead hand that guards your body can clip through your body in certain positions. But I'm working on a solution for that right now that I'm probably going to have to wait for a whole nother video to explain because I haven't quite figured it out yet. And this right here is probably going to be my favorite feature of the game. It took me a while to find some suitable animations for this, but I added a 4-way dash system. If you got somebody swarming you and blocking this and doing the trick, you can dash your way out of trouble. Of course, you're going to lose some stamina when you do this, but you can get stamina back. You can't get your health back. This may not seem like that big of a deal, but this is what makes it a big deal. In the process of me adding these dashes, I accidentally found out that I added dash punching. So not only can you use dashes defensively, you can use dashes offensively. The way that I programmed it is, you can punch right as you dash, or you can punch right at the end of your dash, but you can't punch during a dash. So you have to have your timing on point. But as I said, dashes do take stamina, punches take stamina, so you're gonna be losing twice as much stamina when you use dash punches. But it's gonna be worth it if you land it. It's gonna make for some crazy knockouts. Speaking of knockouts, I actually added a little something to the knockouts to make it so much more satisfying, man. As you can see here, when you land a knockout punch, time slows down a bit. But the best part about the slow motion KO is that I programmed it in a way that you can get a couple extra hits in after you knock them out, and each hit makes the time slow down again and again. So if you knock your player out in a good position, let's say you got him hemmed up on the ropes and he can't fall to the ground immediately, you could just wail on his ass until he fall and hit the ground. Because the game doesn't end until the player hits the ground. That's another feature I added in there. Tell me that ain't lit. That's about all I can share with y'all boys for right now, man. But you know I'm coming with that heat for Devlog 7, man, because we almost done, boy. But before we get into that, man, you already know I got to leave y'all boys with the bad, too, man. I can't just give y'all the good news all the time, man. I got to let y'all know how hard this stuff really is. Fortunately, I don't have that many negative issues to deal with at the time. I got a couple of new glitches in my combat system. For some reason, when you hit your opponent with a straight right hand when he's against the ropes, it'll push him back so fast that he'll glitch through the ropes. That's a problem that I think is going to automatically get fixed once I figure out how to fix that Philly shell clipping through the body problem that I got. It's a physics thing, but we'll get into that in a whole nother video. And there was a glitch that was created to where your punch ability and your blocking ability can be taken for a short amount of time if you get hit in a certain way. I don't quite know what caused that, man, but we gonna fix it. You already know what time it is. Those are really the only two issues that I gotta work on right now, other than the fact that I broke my damn menu system. But that's a whole nother video, dog. We ain't even talk about that. That's UI. We talking about gameplay right now, because I know y'all ain't worried about UI. Oh, and I still haven't figured out how to fix that glitch to where he's snapping between animations on the positive side when he's walking. So my goals for the next month is to fix these couple of problems. I also need to figure out a way to make body shots take your maximum stamina down. That way you don't always be working with 100% stamina if you're taking a hell of a lot of body shots. Just to make the game a little bit more interesting, because stamina is definitely going to be a big issue in this game. And I also have this small little problem that I'm not really a fan of, but it's not that big of an issue. But for example, if you have one player that's standing still in one spot and the other one's moving around, the player will just spin in place like he's in an office chair, and it doesn't look realistic. I want to add more of a pivot correction so that it looks like he's actually engaged in the player that he's looking at. That part right there gonna be kind of hard, I ain't gonna lie, because it's math. Not that I'm not good at math, but I actually have to come up with the equation to tell him when to pivot. That don't sound easy, do it? But I'm gonna figure it out for you though. If only there was some way for y'all to pay me back for all this hard ass work though, bro. I don't know, like maybe if they had a like button on YouTube that you can hit for me. I don't know. It might help. YouTube, why don't y'all get a like button?
Stupid.
That's it for the video, man. I hope y'all boys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. If you don't, your mama's a hoe. That's right, nigga. I said it again. Hit the damn like button. I appreciate the support, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see y'all boys in the next one. Peace.
Couple bands make me took off in the socket. Ain't fucking chopper, I'ma hit him with a rocket. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. Senorita help me come up on the profit, but the devils and the demons try to stop it. Hey, you can hate me, but you loving how I rock it. Yeah. Do this nigga, they know. He act like he's stopping the nigga, say he can go.